Welcome back to the Virtual Elephant YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you a Kubernetes security policy observation and implementation tool that I've built for my own production Kubernetes environments that runs hand in hand with Cilium. So let's jump right in and let's get started. As I've been transitioning my Kubernetes cluster from a homelab environment to one that is running production workloads that are exposed out to the internet, one of the first things that I wanted to do was make sure that I was taking a new approach to security. And I wanted to make sure that I was leveraging security policies via Cilium to be able to make sure that my environment was going to be safe as I started exposing it externally. Now, this is going to be critical for many organizations as you're going down the Kubernetes path. How do you secure the environments? And more importantly, how do you know that you've actually secured your environments? Now, my cluster today is running Cilium version 1.19, and I have Hubble installed for observability of the flows between the different namespaces, pods, containers, and everything running within the Kubernetes cluster. And Hubble is a great tool if you are looking at the flows to try and understand why something might be failing, or to validate when you do implement a security policy that it is behaving the way that you anticipated and intended it to do. Now, one of the challenges that I have is that I'm not actually using like the enterprise version of either Cilium or Hubble. I'm doing this all through the community versions that are available to everyone for running within their Kubernetes clusters. And so I wanted a way to actually be able to visualize what I had from a security policy perspective for each namespace, a way to see based off of the flows that Hubble was actually observing what rules I should create where they were missing, and how to ultimately drive towards having a zero trust security policy implemented for every single namespace. So this is another place where I leveraged Claude to be able to write this application for me in a relatively short period of time after having the initial idea. So what I did was I instructed Claude basically with a set of requirements that I had. I wanted a UI that would have authentication with both read-only and full admin permissions. I wanted to be able to look at both the flows from a mapping perspective. I wanted to be able to see the namespaces with a type of score associated with each namespace and showing me if it had truly achieved zero trust yet. I wanted to have recommendations. So I wanted there to be a recommendation engine within the application based off of those flows that Hubble was observing within the cluster. And I wanted those to be created dynamically. In addition, I wanted the ability to be able to export all of the policies so that I could capture them in YAML code, which could then be uploaded into my Git repositories for those specific applications so that I can track the security policies long term, as well as being able to have a set of recommended best practices security policies that anybody could go and download and start using within their own environments, as well as a few other dashboard-like things around metrics, flows observed, and that sort of thing, so that I could see what the actual application itself was doing and observing within my environment. So let's switch over to the UI screen, and I'm going to show you what I've built and how easy it's become for me to be able to drive down on a per namespace basis and be able to move towards zero trust. And I'll actually show you how I'm doing this, implementing it live using the tool that I've built. So let's switch screens right now and let's take a look at the tool. So you can see here on the screen that I've called this my Cilium Sentinel tool. And you can see that it's got a number of metrics here at the top of the dashboard, the number of namespaces that it's monitoring, the number of policies, the flows that it's captured within the window, how many current recommendations I've had, as well as how many namespaces are actually zero trust ready, and how many of them actually have a default deny within those namespaces. And then there's a few other metrics that I'm gathering from Prometheus that the application itself is sending, just so I can understand the health of everything that's running. Now, a few things about the UI here that I've built. First, you can see here, this is a light mode. I think one of the critical things that everybody likes to be able to have is a dark mode as well. So I made sure that I had Claude program that as well for me. Now you can also see the user that I'm authenticated with the tool. Now I've actually implemented the OIDC using my GitLab. So the way that I have this set up is I have a subgroup within my group inside of GitLab that are full administrators. And then anybody else who just has GitLab access can gain access to this Cilium Sentinel tool, but in a read-only form. And I thought that that was crucial because I wanted to make this simple, but I also wanted to protect it so that others wouldn't be able to just go ahead and start making changes that could be detrimental to what's running within my Kubernetes cluster. You can also see here a timestamp of when it was last updated and then a simple refresh button if we want to manually update it as well. Now the default page that you're seeing here is the namespaces. So you can see right now that it's saying that I have about 4% of my total namespaces covered with zero trust from a progress perspective. And I have 11 covered and I have about 249 gaps. So you can see each one of the namespaces here on the left side. You can see the number of policies that are currently defined, how many flows Hubble is reporting back to the tool, and then you can see a coverage score. So you can see right now, I'm kind of either at 0% or 100%. And that's really because of how I've implemented the tool. There were several of these that are now currently 100% that were somewhere in the 50 to 70% range. But I've built a tool so that it becomes very easy to go all the way from 0 to 100%. Now you can see here that there's this what if deny policy, and there's ability to export the policies as you want to as well. Now before I get to the what if, I'm going to show you a couple other screens before we come back to that. So you can see a communication graph here, and it's kind of showing you what's an explicit allow, what's an implicit zero trust gap. You can see that I've made it filterable, so you can select a specific namespace so you can see what's going on with that namespace there. Now, really, the critical thing here is really on the recommendations. So you can see here that it's selected a namespace for me, and it's showing me the recommendations for Open Choreo control plane namespace right now. So you can see the allow rules. It's saying that we would need to make sure that we had in place before we can move on to a default deny. And again, this is a drop-down menu, so you can see the recommendations for individual namespaces, or you can just go ahead and say, hey, I want to see it for everything. And you can go ahead and scroll through, and it'll show you both the rule and the namespace that it thinks it needs to be applied to as well. Now, there's also some policy drift. So now, right now, there is no policy drift because it's either implemented or it's not. But if there is some policy drift that it thought should be there, but live workload is telling it different, it would flag those things. And then finally, we have this baseline. So if you want to be able to download the YAML for allowing DNS cluster wide, allowing all health probes, the kube API server egress, and a default deny ingress, you can grab those policies here just by clicking the download button. But really what I've done was this recommendation engine, which is great. It helps you to understand like, okay, what should I do if I want to, because I do have full administrator rights. I can click on an individual one and say, hey, go ahead and apply this to GitOps. And then it's going to go through and actually do this for us within the environment. Now, this would be on a per rule basis. And so as I was looking at the tool, I was thinking to myself, well, I want to figure out a way to actually just be able to see what would it look like if I did a what if deny policy. So you can see here on my CMDB namespace, this is where Netbox and some other tools are running. I currently do have 2 policies. I have about 6 inbound flows. It says it's ready for a default deny, but we're not quite there. So what we can do here is actually click on this what if analysis. So what if I did implement a default deny policy? What would I need to do? So it tells us here an ingress default deny would break 929 flows that is observed. And you can see the different places from 4 different sources. The do it all button, which we've got here, codifies first the allow rules for all of these flows, and then it applies the default deny. So we're actually going to go ahead and do this right now. So we're going to say, okay, go ahead, make this zero trust, meaning first codify the allow rules that you believe I need to have based off the observation you've already done, the tool's already done using Hubble, and then make it default deny. So we're just going to go ahead and click it. We're just going to give us a warning message, right? Do we really want to do this? We're going to go ahead and say yes. It's going to commit that change, and then it's actually going to implement it here. So in the next refresh in about 5 or 6 minutes, we should actually see the CMDB. First, the number of policies will increase, and then we'll see the coverage go from 100% or 0% all the way to 100. We'll see the default deny checked, as well as it's ready for zero trust. Now, how this breaks down inside of my ArgoCD stack is actually rather interesting. So we have the Sentinel application itself here. Okay, so this is broken down into an API server, an OAuth module, as well as the web interface. So we can see that it's running here. So this is the Sentinel application itself and the engine. The other part, which is the GitOps side of it, is the Cilium policies. So now we have a number of Cilium policies that are defined here that it's actually monitoring. And it's this process that's going to go ahead and actually update those policies on the cluster itself for the CMDB namespace. Okay, now we can see here that the CMDB namespace is actually showing that the default deny is in place and that it's ready for zero trust. And if we click on the what if analysis, we can see that everything is already covered from the flows that the tool has actually observed through Hubble. So we are good to go. So this is how easy it's become for me now to be able to implement zero trust policies within my Kubernetes cluster. Now, one question you might ask is, you are seeing here that we've got kube-system, which you would think that that wouldn't be a namespace that you would typically want to implement a default deny or zero trust policy within, and you would be correct. So what I've actually done here is I've actually made it so that if you do the what if deny, it tells you everything that it would break, but it's actually a protected namespace, meaning that I'm not going to actually let someone through this tool actually implement any of the policies that it's observing or recommending based off of the flows that it is observing. I thought that this was a rather crucial thing to make sure that we put in place within the tool. So I am going to make this tool available. You can find it in my GitLab, my public GitLab repository. I'll link to it in the description below. So if you would like to actually play with this tool within your own environments, you can begin to do so. So that's it. That's what this Cilium Sentinel tool does. It allows me to be able to have some visibility into my Kubernetes clusters, to understand leveraging Hubble, what's actually going on from a flow perspective for both ingress and egress, and then have it actually the engine make recommendations based off of that, so we can drive towards that zero trust policy and having a default deny rule within each of our namespaces where it makes the most sense. Obviously, security is going to become more and more important. Recently, just this last week, that Mythos model that made all of the news headlines a few weeks ago has actually become publicly available. And so the idea, the concern that many organizations are trying to address now is, how do we protect ourselves from these frontier models and what they're capable of doing when it comes to chaining together multiple low-level CVEs or vulnerabilities to be able to gain root or exploit our systems in a way that maybe wasn't possible, at least certainly not at the scale or the pace that these frontier models are capable of doing today. And so having a tool like this where you can actually implement security policy in a very simplistic and quick fashion is going to be crucial for more and more organizations as we strive to protect ourselves and our environments. As always, I hope that you're enjoying these videos. please make sure that you subscribe to the Virtual Elephant YouTube channel and that you turn on notifications. As always, feel free to leave me a comment below. Hit that like button. Let me know what you're working on. How are you leveraging Claude within your environments in new ways to be able to protect yourselves and be able to perform that shift left where security becomes a first-class citizen within your environments? As always, I look forward to talking to you next time.